DJ Mickey TV.
And I've been juggling some music from the group C.Y.I, Christian Youth Incorporated. And I've got two people online. I'm going to be chatting with the man known as Strongy first. Good morning, Strongy. Strongy, you there?
DJ Mickey.
Yes, brethren. Blessings to you, sir. Good morning, Nigel.
Yo, Mickey, good morning, good morning. Good morning, TNT.
No, it was a pleasure hearing those voices on those songs, man. C.Y.I. Back in those days, what were some of the struggles that you all faced as a group? Because it's not just one or two people; it's more than that. It's a full band. What struggles did you all face back then?
Mickey, to be honest, back then,
well, like the thing is, Mickey, we never did song tracks. When you called for C.Y.I to come and minister, C.Y.I was a band. And I remember said used to encourage us, oh, Nigel, Jason, you all, let's do some song tracks so you all could go out and sing on your own. And we said, no, we're not doing it. If the band's not going, we're not doing any song track. And we have always ministered as a band. And strange enough, the Lord has used those times to really test us. There were times when I remember we had to go to a church to minister, and they had to run a cable through a cane field to bring us power.
Wow.
And we just had to sing. We went to churches where they had no electricity, and we had Brenda Leslie on the drums, and Nigel and I singing, and those guys were just knocking stuff.
Yeah.
And we have always done that. We have always went, regardless of who called us, we have always went to the places that people could not really afford to have the big names come. And we have all gone to those places and ministered to those people with a band, regardless of whether they had the song system or not. And God worked it out, Mickey, that he brought in a good brother into the band who was able to have a little equipment that we could have gone to different places with that and help, the churches that didn't have equipment. That's,
Now, you did say, they could bring in the C.Y.I even when they couldn't bring in some of the big names, right? But would you realize, or did you realize that C.Y.I was a big name back in the days? C.Y.I, together with Showing Gardner, together with Melchizedek Order, together with Culturamas and them. Broadway Boys, definitely. Yeah. All right. So you guys went the distance and you made yourself available, regardless of where it was. Now, you said it started before 2000, in the early days of school and stuff like that. How did you all come along to deciding to do an album?
After years of writing songs and creating music, we decided that it's time to do a compilation and do a 2010 album launch. We were not interested in cutting albums just cutting albums for cutting albums' sake.
Right.
We were interested in putting out something of quality that the folks that are listening to it could keep as a keeper. Not something else thrown under the table.
It's a collector's item. They have,
a collector's item.
Once you get it, you're going to hold on to it because it needs to be valued and cherished.
Yeah.
So that was around 2010, right?
Yeah, that's 2010.
And of course, it included some of the singles that you all released throughout the years?
Yeah. Speak Like This, Let God Be Praised. Yeah.
Of course, I played some of the songs earlier on. Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, the world. I'm chatting with Nigel Friday and Jason, better known as Strongy of C.Y.I. I'm going to get you familiar with this song. All right, so I'm chatting with the guys from C.Y.I. Now, gentlemen, you shared with me your early days. You shared with me in 2010, you guys came out with an album. What has C.Y.I been involved in from then up until most recently?
Well, we have been doing the concerts and the church meetings and stuff, right? But the band of itself, C.Y.I, has evolved. New members, new singers. I mean, not that we are not called on, but it has fully evolved. In fact, they evolved into more a music band that, if international artists is coming, they will call on the band, and I mean, they are superb, they are beautiful.
Now, I must say, people, I've heard C.Y.I. play, and trust me, that band is extremely tight. You all could back anybody.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, Nigel, how many children do you have, man?
I got 2.
3
a boy and a girl.
or 2?
The
All
girl,
right.
The girl is 17 and the boy is 14.
Now, a couple of years ago, something tragic happened in their lives, where they lost their mom.
Yeah.
Around what year was that?
No, 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
How were you helping them along that path?
Well, I can't say God had really stepped in the midst of that situation, because Abigail, as most people know, was my angel.
Mm-hmm.
So I depended on her for everything, basically. Everything other than work. I depended on her for everything. And when they lost their mom, it became, I remember my son came on the bed. I was crying, and he said, Dad, what happened to you? What are you crying for? And Mommy in heaven? Don't cry, you understand? He said, don't cry, Mommy in heaven. Don't study that. It was 3 musketeers.
Yeah.
Now, look at we tight, don't worry. So they did well. They did well. I'm proud of them.
Okay.
Michelle is now 17. She have a license, and Nigel is 15. Yeah.
All right. And, sad news hitting us now, because you kept this a secret, man. Tell us about some of the struggles that you are currently facing.
Wow. My struggles. Well, last year, I had a little, not a little, a big. I was having some problems digesting my food in the morning. And a friend of mine said, Nigel, let's go down to the hospital. I have somebody working there that could, make sure that everything is done well.
Mm-hmm.
And she took me down there that day, and on evaluating the situation, she did some blood tests and stuff, and realized that I had stage 5 end-stage kidney disease.
Stage 5?
Stage 5. That's as worse as it could get.
Yeah.
Now, I never had any kind of symptoms. Never had any big symptoms. So just the vomiting. I used to feel upset in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that carried on for quite a while. So when it was stage 5, it was like, wow, what?
So Nigel, this has been going on for a while, but did you ever get it checked out before getting this news of it reaching to stage 5?
I'll tell you this. Some years ago, I went to my doctor to do a normal routine checkup.
Yeah.
And he said, you have some kidney disease. And I was like, And he said, don't worry about that.
You brush it
do what you
off.
had to do. Yeah. So it was nothing spectacular to me then.
Right. It
was
didn't seem as urgent as...
No, it didn't seem like urgent. Like something happened inside you there, but it's not on the outside. So, don't hurt your head.
Yeah.
That's what it came across like. But years after, it developed to stage 5. And my friend, she's very, 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 very careful when coming to things that's happening on the inside that you don't know about.
Yeah.
So that's Lisa, a real strong support for me. She took me down there and we got it evaluated, and they said, basically, you have to start dialysis now.
Okay.
That was the next breaker for me. Because here am I going to tell my kids that we have to start dialysis. How could I do that?
Yeah.
Oh. So that was really difficult. I remember my son, he was very emotional. He said, one gone and next one going.
Wow.
And I remember I held them and I cried with them. I cried with them and I told them, I say, yo, Daddy's going to be okay. You know, Daddy's going to do it.
You know something, Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about something like this is real tough, you know, on anybody. And I can identify, you know, not just because Nigel and I are friends, you know, because my dad, you know, also passed away from the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really got us when we heard,
when you got the
when
news,
we found out what was happening. Yeah. And I remember, you know, Nigel was talking to me, you know, and I want to share this because, you know, I know that we have faith in God. I mean, if you listen to the songs that we sing,
yeah,
you know, we sing about faith. We push faith, you know, and there's a lot that, you know, I know that God has used them to do and to sow, you know, even into the community. Because for even prior to that, I know you asked him a question, you know, what has the band done and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, apart from the band, Nigel himself has put himself out there to the community, you know, and we did a lot of evangelistic work in Gasparilla. We went to Grenada, we went to Guyana, Barbados. We did a lot of work, and all these places that we have been going and doing ministry, we haven't been, the band as a whole has never been taking money from churches to be paid for anything that we did for C.Y.I. One of the things we used to always say, when we come, make sure they have food to eat. Some people would say, well, look, gosh, at least all they look some gas money, you know, because all they have to come with all this whole band with these 13 people. But the band
and equipment too. Don't forget the equipment as well.
Yes. And in 2017, and I want to mention this here, Ocean Praise was Nigel's brainchild.
Okay.
And the thing is, he did, prior to Ocean Praise, we had other events in the local community of the same stage. The year before, we had brought in Jalil, and Nigel funded all these things from his pocket.
Wow. All right.
You understand? For the community. And I remember when we were in Chaguaramas, and he and I went up there, and we were standing on the beach, and he was telling me, you know, God talking to him, and he want to do something for the people, you know, bigger than what we would normally do. And we started to brainstorm, and we came up, you know, with what we're going to go point. And Ocean Praise was a big success, and Stitchy and all of them were there, and people were blessed. And this was a free event that had 3,000 people in it.
Yep. You know, I was blessed to be the DJ on stage there, one of the DJs, and to see the crowd, and then to understand this was absolutely free to the public. Everybody came, and both Christians and non-Christians, and they received of the blessings. And Apostle Ken Roberts was there as well.
Yes, that's right. It was the first time that I saw 3,000 people kneel on a beach and repented for a nation in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
You know, and all of this was because the Lord had used Nigel, who we are talking about now in this situation, you know, and who took his money out of his pocket to fund these things. And a lot of people have been blessed through the ministry, that not just the band did, but through him, even in his community personally, he has blessed a lot of people. I have seen it. I don't want to say these things because the Bible says don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
Yeah.
But right now, this is a time where he needs the support, and we need to stand with him.
Our brother is in need.
Know? Yes.
Yeah. Now, Nigel, you shared with me yesterday that you've been doing a lot of things out of pocket where your treatment is concerned.
Yeah.
How did it deplete your finances? How strenuous was it on your financial status?
It sure did. I mean, from the time I got this stage 5 kidney disease, I was adamant about one thing: I'm not going to sit down in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I didn't like the public service, but because of how slow everything was going to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I have to put in a neckline, and then I have to wait 3 months in the hospital bed to get a fistula done on my hand. So I decided to do everything privately. I saved. I had money that I was saved, so I used all my savings from that time to January to fund this campaign. And
from July 2020 till January.
Yeah, and I wasn't interested in really going out to anyone or letting anyone know what was really happening.
Yeah.
Jason knew early, my brother Kevin and my mom, they knew. But I was just keeping it, not that I was keeping a secret, Mickey. I was just saying that, okay, I could deal with this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it came to the point that, the government now takes over the funding of the dialysis, thank God. Because between the dialysis, medication, and doctor's appointments, I was spending like $15,000 every month.
Wow. 15,000.
15,000 every single month. And
from July.
I never thought it could have brought me down like that. In fact, my standard of life was little good, right? And I continued in the way that I was going. It's only in January here I realized I am depleted, totally depleted. And I had to reconfirm my mind in terms of what I'm going to do next and how I'm going to do it. Because you know what, Mickey, I say I'm a child of God, man. I'm a child of God, and I give to the work of the kingdom. God has to protect me,
Yeah.
He supplies food for the sparrows. He's going to supply food for me.
Yeah.
So I ventured into, I was in the hospital to treat an infection that I got, a line infection. When you're doing dialysis, you have to be very careful that your line don't get infected. And I got infected through the clinic that I was doing it at. And I had to go in the hospital and spend just about 2 weeks there to treat this treatment. And while I was there, I remember I was praying because I just got disappointed from somebody who told me that they was going to give me a kidney. And I was disappointed, but I wasn't giving up. I remember I was praying and talking to God that morning. And the afternoon, someone came to my bed. And I was like shocked. How did he reach here? Now, I know the guy, right?
Yeah.
But he reached at my bed and, he was like, "How we going?" He was calling me uncle. "How we going, uncle?" Blah, blah, blah. He left and he returned the other day. And I said, "But what's happening here?" And then he said, "Uncle, listen. God want me to give you my kidney, I said, "What?" "God want me to give you your kidney." But I said, "But you ain't check your blood." I know how I'm going to do it. He said, "I know how I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
So like, what do you mean? No, this guy's 18 years old. 18 years old. And on his own, I didn't even have to prompt him. He said the Lord told him to give me a kidney. And my God, we went to Mount Hope. We talked to the transplant unit. And I must say, they put everything on like facile.
Yeah.
And we are currently doing all the testings and stuff, and it is costing a lot of money. A lot of money.
Because you have to foot your preparation and your little tests before.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just for me, it's for me and the donor.
Right. Okay.
For me and the donor. And he has been so gracious. I can't ask him to spend $1.
Yeah.
He's not. I even told him, I said, I'll try to get some funds. He said, "I don't want anything." He don't even want his name being, he don't want me to speak.
He doesn't want his name mentioned.
Not to mention at all.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping that under my belt. But I really give God the thanks that we reached this far. And I think the worst is almost over.
Okay.
But
Now,
Mickey, I will not wish this disease on
anybody.
anyone, man. I've been beaten and battered by businessmen who con men and all that, and I telling you, I won't wish this on anyone. You know, so thank God for the grace. Thank God for people like Jason. You know, I have a good support system now. I think I have a real great support system. You know, Kevin, you know my brother? The basement.
Yeah.
Man, you call him, he jumping out of the sky, you know. He jumping out of the sky for me. Anything I want, you know, I call him, he make it happen. You know?
Right.
And my brother in the States, Darren,
Mm-hmm.
also, he came through for me. Oh my God. He came through for me and has keep on coming through for me.
All right.
I thank God for them. Jason,
Now,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jason and Lisa. I have a strong network.
A strong support team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, guys, I'm chatting with Nigel Friday of C.Y.I. He's sharing with us that he has been diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure. Nigel, besides the treatment and the tests that you need to do, not forgetting the recovery process after the surgery, has your diet been altered? Are you now having to eat different things?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mickey, I was on the, I'm saying this carefully, people please don't shoot me. I was on the hospital diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And realizing that the foods that we were eating, it actually had me weak. Weaker than I was. And through talking to the dialysis nurse that I was doing dialysis at, very experienced woman,
yeah,
she started to tell me, hey, no, include this, include that, include this. And she brought me up, my blood count was low, now it's back up. And so I went forward really nicely.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right, people, I'm chatting with Nigel Friday and Strongy of C.Y.I. We're going to come back with them, and they're going to give us some information as to how people can assist. But I'm going to tease you with this one. Some more music from C.Y.I.
In God's time.
Are your songs, are the songs from C.Y.I. ministering to you at this point in time, man?
Oh, my God, yes. Someone asked me, say, you wrote the song for yourself. You know, like for me, directed for me. I say, wow, I didn't realize that. Stuff like Faith Like This. You know?
Yeah.
It was directed to me. I didn't even know that. When I wrote those songs, these songs are God inspired, and Jason will tell you, these songs were never placed on a book.
Never placed on a book.
Never placed on a book. The
All
band used to quarrel all the time. Nigel, why don't you write down the songs for me? I said, no, the song's coming. How if I come, it come?
Yeah.
You know? And that was one of the challenges with the band, because I will never write a song. So the vocalist will come with pen and paper and try to write down what I'm singing.
Yeah.
And I said, don't worry, we'll get it. You know? So the song was for me at this time that I'm living now.
Well, I wouldn't jump out to say the songs were for you in this time, but they were written to minister to people back then, and God is now using it to minister to you now.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I'm listening intently to the lyrics of the songs, man. I spoke with Virtuous Chriselle Sampson. She said she used to be a part of C.Y.I.
Yes,
she actually sent me something, but I'm unable to access it properly right now. But one of the things she shared is that you are a very prolific writer. You are one of the top writers that she could name confidently.
Oh my God. Thanks.
Loving what it is you do. Nigel Friday of C.Y.I. Strongy on the inside. Now, how can people, if people want to help you out financially? Now, you shared when you were doing this privately, it cost you close to $15,000 a month. Yeah. But you still have treatments to be done, and there's a GoFundMe campaign that has been created, as well as an FCB bank account that's being shared. Could you give us that information? How can people sow or bless you, or to help offset some of your expenses right now?
All right. Well, Kevin, Kevin, C.Y.I. man, and my brother. Yeah, Kevin actually set up a GoFundMe page, and you can access that. Well, I think it's littered all over Facebook. I think it's all over Facebook.
Yes.
Guys, I'm going to be posting it on my Facebook page, so you guys can head across there, and you're going to get all the information. You're going to get the GoFundMe link, you're going to get the Fund Me TT link, and you're going to get the FCB bank account number as well, all right?
Yeah.
Beautiful, Mickey.
Yes. I'm chatting with Strongy and Nigel Friday of C.Y.I. Nigel, we continue to lift you up in our prayers, my brother.
Yes.
Yeah.